Hello, my badass boys and badass babes. It's your disco queen, solid gold dancer, Virgo the Vixen. And as always, hit your like, subscribe buttons wherever they're at. Today, I gotta tell you, the bitch is back. All right. Why do I say that? The Vixen is back. The feud with me and Little Miss Perfect is back on. There was a time where we just tolerated each other. But before that, how can we say, period of semi-peace, we were going at it. And now the fight is back on. Ding, ding, ding. Because guess what? The Vixen had to do something. Because guess what? I'm the Vixen. Will I tell you? Of course. That's why I'm making the video. Anyways, let's rewind. Not to the 70s. Don't worry. I'm not going to go back to that era. Don't worry. I'm not going to scare y'all. All right? Anyways. We're going to rewind this clock about maybe 2 weeks. All right. We're out watching the church league softball game. All right. You know, I'm not on the team because the last time I tried to join, I may have caused an incident where I purposely tried to hit the batter. I was the pitcher. I tried to hit the batter square in the head because of something she may or may not have said off to the side that I heard, and I didn't appreciate that. So apparently, trying to purposely harm another player on the opposing team, that's for Major League, okay? But apparently it doesn't work in the church league. So that's why I'm no longer allowed to play in softball. So I'm watching the game, supporting, the home team. And I hear Little Miss Purdy talking. Or I should say Little Miss Perfect talking. Today, I'm going to let you know, this is a tale about pettiness, revenge, sex. So if those things interest you, continue to watch the video. All right. Little Miss Perfect is talking about how her eldest got busted with a prostitute the day before this conversation. And she was worried about how this was going to affect his life. I should have took this as a sign to walk away. I should have took this as a sign to be the bigger woman and just ignore it. God forbid I am the Vixen. And when I heard that Little Miss Perfect's eldest, this kid is arrogant. He is an arrogant little shit if there ever was any. When I heard this, I couldn't help it. I had to feel the urge, the need to, from one mother to another, to pass on some, how can we say this, some womanly wisdom. That's what I would love to tell you. Here's what I did. I was laughing. I wasn't quiet about it. I overheard it and I start laughing a little too loud. And what I mean by a little too loud, half the stands of the people in the stands were looking at me because apparently I grabbed everybody's attention. Which means Little Miss Perfect's attention was laser focused on me. And first of all, I said, well, it's about time the little shit got laid. I mean, I'm surprised. That doesn't surprise me. The only way he could get a woman is he had to pay for her. Those are not the things that a mother wants to hear about her firstborn child, okay? No mother wants to hear about how bad their children are. I know I don't. Even though I know at least one of them, or let's just say, has gotten me in trouble numerous times. I won't mention which one, like my daughter Ava. But anyways, let me get back to the story. So, he gets busted with a prostitute. I make the comment about how this, I'm glad that this is the, how can we say this, the only way you could get a woman. Little Miss Perfect does not like that comment. And she goes, well, he's attractive, he's young, he's successful. And I go, yeah, and this is the only way you can get a woman too. Again, these are things that a mother does not want to hear about her son. I go, well, if he was so successful and so, amazing, why doesn't he have a girlfriend? Here's an idea. Why isn't he married? Why did he have to go to a prostitute? And so when she told me, I asked her, just out of curiosity, I'm in the business. Did you catch the name of the hooker? The prostitute that he was with? And she gave me the name of Bedazzle. All right, let me tell you something. Girls talk, so we know each other by reputation. Okay, Bedazzle, let me tell you who she is. She's an older hooker. All right, she's older. She's in her late 50s, around there. Still good looking for her age. I will give her credit, but she's still in the game. All right, I know who Bedazzle was. And so, professional contacts. People have professional contacts depending on what, how can we say this? What industry you're in, you have professional contacts. And I'll get to that part of the story. But we're going to be focusing on the little fact that Little Miss Perfect and I, we decided, you know what, we're going to have a shouting match right here in front of the softball game. And so I started laughing even more. And she goes, why are you laughing? This is a serious matter. It could ruin his career. I go, first of all, oh yeah. I laid out who Bedazzled was to her. And I laid out, the details of what I think your son was trying to get from Bedazzled. And I may have said something along the lines of, well, at least he found a mother who can actually love him and nourish him and give him support and not be an over-emotional bearing bitch. I think were the words I may have used in this little conversation. Little Miss Perfect loved to point out that, I'm Mother of the Year status, the daughters that I've raised, and how they turned out. And I point out that, hey, look, first of all, Ava's record is sealed because she was a juvenile, and Leona, she hasn't done anything, so what the hell's the problem? I'm not seeing any issues. Anyways, I would love to tell you this is where the story ends between her. We're yelling so loudly. We are cursing at each other. We're shooting cut downs after cut down after cut down. We're not being polite. She calls me a hooker. I called her a washed up mother. She calls me a whore. I said, at least I get paid for looking this way. What's your excuse? We're going at this and we're not quiet about it. We came to the point where the umpire had to stop the game and have us both removed. All right. Luckily, it wasn't a fight. It was getting there, but for some odd reason, there's security at these events. I don't know, maybe because of a certain incident where I was trying to hit a certain person. That's why they thought maybe security might be the better option. But either way, security removes us, so there wasn't a fight. Now, with that being said, I talked to Bedazzle. All right? I know her. I have her, like I said, professional contacts. Depending on what industry, you have contacts. In this case, I know Bedazzle. I look up her number. I call her up, and I tell her the situation that I heard, my rival, Little Miss Perfect, I heard that her son got busted with you. Can you give me the details of what went down? Now, normally in this profession, we don't talk much, all right, about what goes on. I'm kidding. We talk all the time. Between us girls, we tell stories about certain individuals. We don't mention names out of professional respect because guess what? That shit can get out and it can ruin business. But in this case, since he got arrested, and she knows how much I don't like Little Miss Perfect. And guess what? She starts spilling the details about what they were doing. All right. First of all, her son is not the sweet, innocent boy. Okay. He has been seeing prostitutes for at least 2 years now. All right. So let's dispel the notion that he's a good guy. All right. The reason why is because he's not interested in having a steady relationship. He's young. He's successful. He does not want to be tied down, in his words, not mine. So it's very easy to rent love on occasion. Now, why would he rent Bedazzle? She's an older woman. All right, how do I want to put this politely? Bedazzle works in a certain, fetish. All right, and I'm going to try to be polite about this, but it's where the woman is the more dominating of the two. I'm just going to be polite about it. And apparently, they caught him in a very compromising position when the police raided the motel room. There may have been certain inanimate objects in certain locations that normally would, how can we say this politely, you wouldn't find there on a guy like him. All right, I'm trying to be really discreet, but I think you can get the message here. So when I found that out, again, I would love to tell you I was the bigger woman and I didn't rub it in. I would love nothing more to tell you that me and Bedazzle got a good laugh and that was the end of that. No, this is Little Miss Perfect. This is my chance to rub in the fact that he went to a dominatrix. So I call up I take that back. I stopped from calling Little Miss Perfect. I went over to where she was at. And this was, I can't remember where she was at. She was, I tracked her down. She was apparently at another one of her kids' events. Yeah, I'm that petty when it comes to this issue. So I tracked her down to one of her other kids' events. And I politely pointed out that what Bedazzle does, how your son was found with certain objects in him, and that you really need to talk to your boy because there's some issues going on there that you're not aware of. At this point, there was no back and forth. There was no, cut down here, cut down there. It was a Jerry Springer brawl at this point. So, in less than a week, I've managed to stop 2 sporting events. All right, needless to say, the police were called. They didn't do anything because it was mutual battery. She didn't want to press charges on me. I didn't want to press charges on her. We made it clear if one pressed, the other did, so we didn't need that on our records. But I gotta tell you, the bitch is back, baby, and I was proud to do it. Anyways, so what's today's life lesson? Is it okay to be petty every now and then? Possibly. Today's life lesson means, you know what, it's not a good idea to do certain things in public. Possibly. I think today's life lesson is, the bitch is back. Guess what? Who's your vixen? And bye-bye.